Good evening. I'm going to call this meeting to order. This is a regular session of the Mayor and Council of the City of Bisbee, County of Cochise, State of Arizona. It's being held on Tuesday, October 4th, 2022 at 7:01 p.m. in our council chambers. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Juanetta Hill. Councilmember Joni Giacomino.
Here.
Councilmember Frank Davis.
Here.
Mayor Ken Budge.
Here.
Councilmember Leslie Johns.
Here.
Councilmember Mel Sweet.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Anna Klein.
Here.
City Staff Stephen Pocken, City Manager. Ashley Coronado, City Clerk. Carrie Bagley, Finance Director. Matthew Gurney, Public Works Director. Tim Cox, Police Chief. Jim Richardson, Fire Chief. Melissa Hartman, City Planner. Joe Estes, City Attorney.
Thank you, everyone. For a moment of silence, I would like us all to just think about the people that just went through the hurricane in Florida. And I know I have some people down there, I'm sure other people do. They got a long road coming back. So let's give them a second and think about giving them any support we can. And thank you. Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I have no proclamations tonight or major announcements, so I'll go on. I don't believe we have anybody signed up to call the public, so we'll move right on into general business. So the first order of general business would be accounts payable. Can I have a motion?
I move that we pay accounts payable in the amount of $279,878.19, subject to availability of funds.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. Questions on anything on?
I'm okay today.
Oh, I was waiting.
I didn't have a chance.
Let's see if I figure someone check his head.
I didn't have a
So
chance.
everybody mark this declaration on the calendar.
I'm almost scared.
That's okay. I'm gonna take it over. Okay,
Yeah, I'll let someone else speak.
As I
have
recover
my
from
energy
shock.
picking up.
On page
Sorry.
7. On page 7 under water, as usual. I'm just curious, why the city park, is that just its fee, or it's $103 for city park? It's down under water, halfway down the page, if you go to water, and you go down to the third water. I mean, I get Grassy Park, okay, you said that its base fee was the X amount, is that the base fee at city park? It just seems high at $103.
Yeah, I don't believe base fee is that high, so unless, I'll have to look in and see if we've been doing any watering. We shouldn't have been, because this was from August to middle of September.
Right.
So I'll look into it and see if we've had any line breaks or anything over there.
Yeah,
Depending on the size of the line, there's a basic charge even if
Right.
they don't use water.
that's why I was wondering, but I've never seen it like that.
I haven't heard of any problems over there, so but I'll look into it.
Anything else?
That might have been it. Yeah.
Don't go anywhere. I actually have.
Yay, somebody else did.
Well, since you did take up the.
Yeah, thank you.
Item 5, I just wanted to make this as a note for the general public that on item 5 under wildland, we paid $11,643 for our wildland crew that went out but what people don't realize is we got a lot of other, we're gonna get money back, it's gonna be more than this, so I don't know what that amount is, but
The August response was for 3 weeks, and we just received a check for $60,000.
so I just,
I don't wanna call it a profit margin,
no,
but over and above what we spent was like 24,000.
So I just wanna make note, somebody says, whoa, why are we doing that? And we're actually getting reimbursed more than that.
We'll be waiting for a couple more weeks for the response that they just came back from.
Okay. The one I do have that I would ask the Public Works Director would be on page 6 under, whatever, line, it was a custodial charge for 15, what's U-line? Super Grip refill.
Alright.
You know what is Super Grip?
Yeah, so Uline, where we purchase, most of our like PPE supplies, so, I believe that the
Gloves?
Super Grip is gloves,
Ah.
so we buy gloves, we buy glasses, we buy the, and then septic wipes, we buy, paper towels, all that stuff.
So they just got me a bag of orange, so it's orange gloves.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yeah, the nitrile gloves are orange.
all right, that's it for me. And nothing else, we have a motion and a second to approve accounts payable in the amount of $279,878.19. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so moved. Moving on to item 2, which is the consent agenda. We have 5 items. The first 2 are approval of the minutes for September 20th and the other for regular session and September 20th for the work session. Item C is the resignation of John Crow from the Appeals Board of Property Maintenance. And item D and E have to do with 2 right-of-way permits. One for Subway Street at the Convention Center for the annual Festival of Lights, and the other one would be for the Bisbee Christmas on the Vista. So does anybody have anything to pull?
I'd like to discuss item E, please.
So we'll pull item E. Anyone else? All right, I have a motion for items A through D.
I move to approve the consent agenda items A through D.
I'll second that. I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as shown, items A through D. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so moved. Move on to item D. Go ahead.
E.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
E, D, B.
No, I just wanted to discuss the waiver of fees because I feel like usually when we do that, it's for local charities like the Mariachi Festival. And the only charity I'm seeing supported by this event is Wyoming House, which is in Tucson. So I just wanted to get everybody's thoughts on that and, because I don't see what we're supporting here besides a private party.
All right, open discussion on that. Because a private party to me is like at a house or 2 houses, but if it's considered along a whole vista and more participation, then I consider it more a community event. So my commitment on our last discussion was I would support community events if it's not to make money, and a community event that is not putting money in somebody's pocket. Then I can say, that's what the city does, is help support that. I would be a little taken back if we considered it an actual private party. Would be inviting a bunch of friends over. If this turns out to be that way, then we have that to know for anything in the future. But that's my opinion. Anyone else?
I'm just curious with that, because on the one page it says the preliminary cost, it lists other benefactors too.
Oh.
So, yeah,
Okay.
because I was looking for the, because I remember reading somewhere about Ronald McDonald, but then when you look on here,
Okay.
it says Boys and Girls Club Coalition.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I'm fine with that.
Yeah, because I had heard that same thing too, and I couldn't find it, so, and that's what I said. So.
All right, so I'm fine with waiving fees.
Any other discussion? I'll take a motion.
I move to accept item E as written.
Second. Okay, and I second it, so.
You bet. We have the motion and a second to approve the consent agenda item E as listed. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. So moved. Moving on to old business. First order of old business. Let me please get to there. All right, this will be the approval of a parking facility and right-of-way use permit for the use of Howell Avenue in front of the Copper Queen Hotel for the Halloween party, street party, that Saturday, October 29th, 2022, from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. We put this on hold last time because we wanted to get some answers. And I asked it not to be put back on the consent agenda so that we could discuss it. So, did you have any?
They didn't appear to have a liquor license last time, and now they do, so I'm fine with it.
That was your main question?
Yeah.
Do we have any other questions on this parking facility use permit?
None.
Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve a park facility and right-of-way use permit for the use of Howell Avenue in front of the Copper Queen Hotel for a Halloween street party on Saturday, October 29th, 2022, from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to approve a parking facility use permit for the use of Howell Avenue on October 29th from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it, so moved. Item 4 is just the application for extension of premise permit for the same event for the Copper Queen Hotel. We had to put this afterwards because we can't approve a permit until we approve the right-of-way permit. So, any questions on this one? Oh, did I hear something?
Yes, we do first have it. I just wanted to make sure that,
Pull the mic a little closer, so I can hear you.
the space that they have outlined here, maybe it's just because it's larger, but it hasn't extended, has it? That they had requested, space prior to.
I believe this is the same.
It's just a larger.
We just put this one on hold. In fact, this wasn't even on last week.
Correct.
This is brand new, so.
So good.
It basically goes from just above Grassy Park, down Howell Avenue, past the entrance of the hotel.
Yes.
The question is, are the maps the same?
Are the maps the same?
The answer is the maps are the
Yes, I
same.
see.
It's just a different color.
Oh. Okay.
They use different
Okay.
colors on both of them.
I'm good.
All right, any other questions? All right, then we will entertain a motion on this one.
I move to approve the application for extension of premises patio permit submitted by the Copper Queen Hotel for an event to be held on Howell Avenue, Bisbee, Arizona, on Saturday, October 29th, 2022.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to approve extension of premise permit by the Copper Queen Hotel for Saturday, October 29th. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it, so moved. We'll move on to item number 5. This item 5 is a discussion and possible approval of ordinance O-22-13. It's authorizing a utility easement to Arizona Public Service Company located at 118 Walsh Avenue. This is the second reading of this. We discussed this last time. Pretty straightforward. Any questions? We need any explanation from staff? All right, seeing none, I move that we approve ordinance O-22-13 authorizing utility easement to Arizona Public Service Company located at 118 Walsh Avenue.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second for item number 5 as shown on the agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Sorry, Mayor,
Oh.
we'll do roll call because it's an ordinance.
It is an ordinance, thank you. Roll call. Just in time.
Councilmember Hill,
Aye.
Councilmember Giacomino,
Aye.
Councilmember Davis.
Aye.
Councilmember Johns.
Aye.
Councilmember Sweet.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Klein.
Aye.
Mayor Budge.
Aye. Motion passes unanimous 7-0. Thank you. We've been on a roll, and I just, that's why we pay him the big bucks. All right, item number 6. This will be discussion and possible approval of another ordinance, O-2214, authorizing the mayor and council of the city of Bisbee, authorizing the sale and transfer of certain property located at 105 E Street, City of Bisbee, County of Cochise. This will be under the city's workforce housing initiative, authorizing and taking all other action necessary for the transaction to be completed by this ordinance. Again, this is a second reading.
Yes, no changes from the first reading, and I'll take any questions, otherwise staff recommends approval.
Questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Drink water.
It's a long one.
Go for it.
Okay, I move to approve ordinance 022-14, an ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Bisbee, county of Cochise, state of Arizona, authorizing the sale and transfer of certain property located at 105 East Street, city of Bisbee, county of Cochise, state of Arizona, under the city's workforce housing initiative, authorizing the taking of all other action necessary for the consummation of transaction contemplated by this ordinance.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for item 6.
Roll call.
And we will do roll call.
Councilmember Hill.
Aye.
Councilmember Giacomino.
Aye.
Councilmember Davis.
Aye.
Councilmember Johns.
Aye.
Councilmember Sweet.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Klein.
Aye.
Mayor Budge.
Aye, motion passes 7-0, so moved. Moving on, item 7, this is discussion and possible approval of resolution R-2205. This is approving a 5-year lease with the United States Postal Service for the facility at Old Bisbee at a rent of $59,815 per year, effective January 1, 2023. I will make a motion right now, since we have not heard back exactly what answers about opening it up further. I want to put this on hold again and see if we can get some further clarification. So I move that we table this, but again.
Second.
Any discussion on tabling it one more?
Just one more. Is it possible, I know we are far into the lease, is it possible, I know we have it for 5 years, and it's at one price. Is there any way we can have like provision where we can at least increase it on a year for the 5 years, have a like at least an inflation rate type of, rather than just fixed amount? Like,
The amounts are not gonna be able to, we're already
I finished with that.
past that point to be able to go back and make any adjustments.
Okay.
We'll let council know that I did reach out to their representative with JLL, let her know what the concerns were. She reached out to USPS and then, just told me unfortunately they haven't been able to confirm anything. We should have something back by the end of this week or next week.
Okay.
So hopefully the next meeting we'll have a response to that. But she did say that the information she received back was that the adjustment was made because of vandalism, break-ins, homeless sleeping, different things like that, and that they would evaluate the request by the city under the provision of providing security cameras.
Anything else? I have a motion and a second to table this item, number 7. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so moved. All right, moving right along, this will be item 8. This is new business. This is discussion and possible approval for the Bisbee Arts Commission to pay High Desert Market in the amount of $1,096 to be their caterer at the fundraising event that will take place on Friday, October 21st, 2022, to kick off the Festival of Arts event. Ms. Johns.
Pretty much like it said, they're having a fundraiser on the 21st of October, and High Desert's gonna cater it, and this will allow them to pay for the food.
And there's tickets available, so get your tickets.
What can you get your tickets? Can you tell?
Oh, I don't know.
Online?
They have a website
Website? Okay, so.
It's right on there.
on their Bisbee Arts Commission
Okay.
website.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
just for the benefit of our listening public, what's the location of the fundraiser?
It is on, in Erie Street. It's on-
16 Erie Street.
16 Erie Street.
Yes.
Thank you.
This fundraiser is for the 21st, and, however, it is open to the public on the 22nd.
Yeah, so the actual arts, event, both the 22nd and 23rd are free to the public. This is just the fundraising part with some catering. Any other comments, questions? Seeing none, a motion, please. Ashley?
I'm getting there.
You fine?
I move to approve for the Bisbee Arts Commission to pay High Desert Market in the amount of $1,096 to be their caterer for the fundraising event that will take place on Friday, October 21st, 2022, to kick off their Festival of the Arts event.
I second.
We have a motion and a second for item 8 for the Bisbee Arts Commission to pay High Desert Market to be their caterer for the event on Friday, October 21st. I think we don't have any nays. Let's call all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it, so moved. All right, item 9, discussion and possible approval of the Bisbee Arts Commission to pay to pay Book Baby for the publishing of the exhibition catalog for art's sake, the main exhibition of the Bisbee artists and craftspeople.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So this is a keepsake book that the Arts Commission is publishing with everybody who's participating in the Arts Festival. And it's publishing of their work, and they're selling it as a fundraising effort, and I think they're already almost sold out. So this book, from what I've heard, is absolutely beautiful. It's got like 200 artists in it, and it's gonna look amazing.
And I might add that there is some donations that have gone towards paying a good portion, if not all, of the amount that it costs.
Yeah.
$4,946. Any other comments, questions? Entertain a motion.
I move to approve the Bisbee Arts Commissions to pay Book Baby for the publishing of the exhibition catalog for art's sake, main exhibition, Bisbee artists and craftspeople.
Second?
And let's put it for a total of $4,946.04. So there's no question. All right, we have a motion and a second to pay Book Baby for the publishing of this exhibition catalog. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. So moved. Thank you. On to item 10, discussion of possible approval to make year-end retention payments to certain city employees in 2022 and fiscal year 2023 from ARPA money. City Manager.
Yes, thank you, Mayor, and good evening again to everybody. We've been kicking around for quite a while now, trying to quantify to the extent possible the impact that the COVID era has had on our employees. And we did do we were able to quantify to some degree what the cost to the city was, but it is almost completely impossible to quantify the impact to the employees. We did not let anybody work at home. Everyone came to their regular place of work throughout the pandemic. And because they did, there was some discomfort and problems getting services that families would normally get when everything is open. And So, what we found from talking with the employees is that it was, it was costing them more to come to work just because the services that weren't available caused them to find alternatives, and alternatives almost never cost less. So, in an effort to recognize that, what staff has come up with and is recommending to you tonight are two payments. $1,200 payable to all full-time benefited employees and permanent part-time employees, or whatever they actually are called on the books in the finance office. The first payment would be made on or about December 1st of this year. The second payment would be made on or about December 1st of 2023 in the same amount. Now, no magic about $1,200. We thought $1,200 after taxes would be closer to $1,000 than $1,000 before taxes. And the only thing that we can't spend ARPA funds on are pensions. So any part of the pension would be on the city side of any pension payments to either ASRS or PSPRS. So we already recognize that, and so the fiscal impact that we have calculated for doing this is $243,668, which is available in ARPA Fund 79. By approving this tonight, that would lock those funds in for that purpose. And we believe that this is not only a warranted expenditure of money to benefit our employees, but we also like to think that if we pay it 2 years in a row, we might get a little bit better retention out of the deal as well. So that's why the recommendation is paid over 2 years. So staff recommends.
Real quick question, so is this considered wages or is this a bonus?
From the standpoint of the payment itself, it would be the same as the payment of wages.
So there will be PSPRS.
Withholding will be taken, yes.
Yeah, well, I understand the Social Security, I just thought bonuses didn't necessarily require retirement payments.
Well, and that's really not necessary to decide here.
Okay.
Whatever method we use that will cost the city less amount, and if you're correct, I'll have to have that confirmed by legal counsel. If we can do that, then that's what we'll do.
Okay, that's just, I know that's what happened to me once, way back when, but that was long before our time, that they would give it to us in a bonus, and then, I guess, you withhold state, federal, and FICA, but it isn't considered a wage, and it doesn't get worked into their final wage salary at the end. Okay. I didn't know if that was possible. Any more?
I have a question.
Sure.
What is all this stuff on the back? What
Oh,
does it have to do with what you're asking?
well, that's just to say that if you look at the bottom line, there's 1.2 million, 296,000. I didn't mean to have that on the back here, but I did intend to have it in the agenda packet. It's an update for you.
Okay.
So by looking at this, you can see that we have the money available, and you can also see most of what we've already spent, and what is not spent, what we have committed to do before 2025, when we have to spend it all.
I approve this because in all transparency, I think the public needs to see.
It just was confusing because
Yeah.
you're asking for this and then you're giving me all this other, like, to me it didn't.
Well, it does have some bearing on it. It does show you that the money's there.
Yeah, and that, these are ARPA money, and so what are we doing with it? And this is one of them that will be figured in. If it was, if we get through. More questions?
Not question, just a comment.
Sure.
I I think this is a really good idea, and I think our employees deserve it. Throughout the whole, pandemic, it wasn't easy for anybody, and the fact that our employees showed up every day, did what they were supposed to, carried on as normal as possible. So, I mean, I'd really like to thank them, for doing this, but I'd really like to thank those that had, direct contact, with the public. It would be the fire department and all their ambulance runs on, we had so many sick people. The police department, they responded to those calls as well. And, our sanitation crews. Everybody had such a heavy part, but I think those three departments really bore the brunt of everything. So I just want to thank them for all their work.
Anybody?
Yes.
Okay,
I just want to clarify, I'm not against this, but I'm for the public and to be aware of this. It seems like almost everyone in Bisbee, people who work in the service industry, people who work, face those obstacles. My question, how is this going to look when we are the decision maker and we are allocating this to the people that work for us? This just donating such an amount of money, because almost everyone, as we know, when the COVID was going on, they'd receive assistance from the government, $1,200 and the second $1,200. And having allocating this amount of money, maybe we could do part of it that will go to the employees, and the other part, the holidays are coming up, because there was a lot of families were affected in the city here that did not keep their job. At least the employees had a job, were receiving their benefits. And my second question is going to be, when I say employees, are you talking about employee and full-time salaried employees, managers? Are managers going to be receiving this money? I want a clarification on this once I'm done. So, and we thank them for doing their job, but here we take about $250,000 and we decide to give it to our employees. Maybe it will have been more of, because when this money was allocated by the government, it was for the city of Bisbee. It wasn't for us to say we did do some non-profit, but here we took a big chunk. And as a manager or as some people are working for us, it's a good idea. It makes us look good. But I believe maybe we should have thought more about this, and maybe with the holidays, there's a lot of families here. Maybe you can use some help. Maybe we could have done some food allocation, some Thanksgiving, rather than give this big amount, $1,200, when people were receiving their salaries, were getting the benefits from the government. And so I just have concern with the number and with the way the decision was made about this. So I want some clarification from the city manager.
Well, the first thing that I need to clarify is that the decision hasn't been made.
Okay,
We're asking you to make it now,
okay,
okay? So staff is recommending that you take this specific action.
yeah.
As to your specific questions about how does this look, you decide, okay? I can't tell you how it looks.
Okay.
I think this is my personal view. I think it shows that we're recognizing the fact that there were hardships on the part of our employees, and we are the employer, and we are taking this action as an employer. Now, as far as other programs are concerned, we, for Thanksgiving and Christmas, the fire department does a great job. They do that almost entirely on donations. I know I reach into my back pocket to help them. I'm hoping you all do too. So that too is a community effort. So, everybody will have an opinion about what we're doing, and just like every other decision we're making tonight, this is staff's recommendation. Everyone who works for us full-time with benefits, okay, plus everyone who has a hate using the term permanent, but a part-time job that isn't seasonal, okay? Therefore, it's year-round. They're a year-round employee, but part-time. They're all eligible. The only person ineligible is the city manager.
Okay, department heads as well are eligible?
Yes.
I mean, is this fair? That's all.
Can I?
That's my question. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna chime in here. I gave this a lot of thought myself, and then I started thinking back during the pandemic. The government came up and I went through the list of how many businesses in our town got a bunch of money. I mean, they put in for a lot of money. We didn't get it. The city didn't get any of that. We couldn't pass that on to our employees and keep it going like a lot of the businesses in town did, all right? So what did we do? When we first got this money, we went over $110,000 to nonprofits because they didn't put in to give back. And we're gonna do that again on Thursday. So we're almost dollar for dollar matching what we're giving to nonprofits and to our city employees. The city employees, we didn't have any method like a big employer, and I'm not gonna name names, but you can look online what they got based on how many employees. We have 90 what now? Help me out. More than 90.
It's between 90 and 100
Right.
that fit into this category.
Right, and so 90 and 100, we're gonna give 250,000, where for our nonprofits of 30, we're gonna give 220,000. So to me, we're giving back in the community in two ways, and I think that it seems very justifiable to me, and that's how I would tell somebody that especially a business owner that came to me and said, well, why we didn't get the money, we didn't have the availability to apply for those monies that you did when that happened, so that you could help your employees. So that's what we're doing, is doing the basic same thing they had the opportunity to do back then.
Mayor, just for FYI,
Yeah.
because the statement has to be correct. When business get the money, they were paying, the employees were not receiving salaries. So they had to pay them. There was no extra money paid to employees.
It was
There was
up to the owner.
No, but there was no such, if that employee wasn't collecting two salaries, if he wasn't working, they paid them, but there was no double payment. So it's just for
I
information
didn't say
purposes.
double payment. What I said was a lot of employers put in and got a lot of money from the federal government, and they could either put it into their business to keep it alive, or they could give it to their employees. And some gave to their employees, some kept it for themselves. But I'm saying they had that opportunity. We as a city never had that opportunity.
Well, this is, and I'm not, this is what I'm just saying. What we need to know here is that we are the decision maker. This was not given to be given to employees. This was given to the city of Bisbee to be dispersed accordingly where the needs are. The employees.
No, that's incorrect. There was nothing that said you can't.
But
use
the employees, what I'm just saying, I told you in principle when I started, I'm not against this in principle. But what I'm just saying, the employees who were receiving their benefits, the managers who were receiving their benefits, and then they were getting the $1,200 that everyone got, from the government, the $1,200. Almost everyone got them, the $1,200. If you apply for them, you get them. I'm talking about the $1,200. I just want to clarify this. But so employees were receiving the salary, were receiving their benefits. And my other concern is a manager that's making a certain amount versus an employee that's making this amount, and we're giving them the same number. I just want to make sure this was done correctly, was done for the right reason, not just because we didn't even know. Like when was this discussed? Is it a bonus or is it a salary? Has it been identified? You asked that question, Ken. Is it a bonus or is it? And then on top of this, what Steve has just said, if we pay this, then we have to pay the taxes. We have to pay the social. Am I correct? Is that what you said? Or you can clarify?
The employee,
I wasn't
the employer
sure.
will pay
The employer,
taxes.
we will, yeah.
And the employee.
Yeah, but we will pay also. So on top of this, some money will go.
Just like a $1,200.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So we have to pay
Exception.
our part. Am I right? The city has to pay. Yeah. Yes, so this is. I just want to clarify this. Has to be, and it's just the staff recommended, which means the employees who are given going to get the money they are recommending. So they're recommending for themselves.
Yeah,
Is it fair?
And what I would say in fairness, whether it be the lowest wage paid earner we have, or a higher paid staff member, if you worked it out in percentages, the staff member's getting a lot less percentage of their wages than a lower, it would help the lower class payee a lot more than it would be upper. So I think across the board seems like a much more even way to go, just in that way. So that's why I justified that way. Anyway,
That's all, I just,
yes, more comments. Anybody?
You know,
Oh.
I just wanna add that, you know, a lot of businesses have the choice of shutting down or whatever. We didn't. We had to keep city services going.
I understand.
And it wasn't easy.
No, and you have to know, like I said in the beginning, when I started my statement, principally I'm not against it, but we just have to clarify this. And the other thing is, employees were getting paid, their benefits. I just, you know, the way it was dispersed, manager versus employee part-time, I just want to make sure it was done correctly, because this is, it's a big chunk of money, that's all.
Any other comments?
Since Mel, since Mel brought that up,
Yeah, pull the mic closer to you. People have been telling me they want to hear you. Okay.
since Mel did bring this up, I suspect we may get comments, from the general public, as to why we were allowed to propose, because we haven't agreed on this yet, is that what you're saying? That, city, employees, receive this $1,200 or $2,400 to payments. So I appreciate Mel bringing it up, because that's a question that we should be prepared to respond to residents when they ask for it.
I see no other hands. So with that, we can entertain a motion. And I will move to designate $243,668 from ARPA Fund 79 to make retention payments of $1,200 each to permanent, part-time, and benefit full-time employees employed by the City of Bisbee on December 1st, 2022 and December 1st, 2023.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for item 10 for retention payments. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hill,
I heard it, sorry. I heard it, yes, aye.
Councilmember Giacomino,
Aye.
Councilmember Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember Johns,
Aye.
Councilmember Sweet,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Klein,
Aye.
Mayor Budge.
Aye. Motion passes 7-0. Unanimous, so approved.
Thank you on behalf of all employees.
All right, moving on. We'll move on to item 11. This is discussion and possible approval of resolution R-2217, authorizing the adoption of Project Wildlife Bisbee, certifying Bisbee and a community wildlife habitat by the National Wildlife Federation. I'll let you and then introduce a couple of the principals in this.
Yes, we've had several discussions with this group over the past few months, principally between the Project Wildlife folks and Public Works crews, basically on site, and they have come up with a program that they would like to implement for the city in the areas that you were aware of in your agenda packet, which include Cranston Park, the upper half of Vista Park, and the Laverne Williams Park in Galena in 2023. So I would like to turn it over to Project Wildlife if you would like to hear from them.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be great, little presentation. We're moving along so well. Come on up, introduce yourselves, if you would, and give us a little overview. Thank you.
Okay, well, my name's Carmen Falcon, and this is Jane Gaffer, and we're the two leads on this project. It's a grassroots program with high impact, and it's getting people to think about planting native plants, low water users, getting in touch with their own backyards, and actually getting in touch with each other. It's a win-win program. We have to get 100 individual wildlife habitats that people have to register for. And to do that, you have to have native plants that provide seed, nectar, berries. You have to have a water source. Doesn't have to be like a big sprinkler. You need to be able to have a place where wildlife can mate and raise their young. It's not real difficult. There's a lot of yards that already have this all in place. And then it does get people to start thinking about, what can I do to enhance our native wildlife and support them? Because we know we have a lot of numbers that are pretty threatened. We know a lot of our pollinators are having some real issues. And to do this, we have to get 100 individual wildlife habitats registered. And so we're already at like 40%. And then we have to do we have to do another 150 points where you put a board together, a name, a brochure, you do community outreach, you like the farmer's market, putting on workshops.
Basically also, we have to get several parks, community spaces, and we call them those the parks. We've already got one school, with one school to come. The city cemetery is about to be registered, and we just think this will be, as Carmen says, a win-win for Bisbee.
Good for everyone.
We think it will. I mean, we're in the middle of the San Pedro Flyway, the Ramsey Canyon birding thing. It would be nice to get Bisbee known as the centre of this, and as all the lavender tours and everyone comes by, what we would really like is those beautiful signs, this garden accredited as a wildlife habitat. We'd like to get all the tourists to say, wow, what a great idea, what's this? And take it back to their own communities. We stand to be, if this works, and it will work, if you give your permission, of course, we'll be maybe the fourth city in Arizona only to be such an accredited community.
So I guess we're asking to be sanctioned and to be able to work with the cemetery and 3 of the other parks alongside city parks.
Really what we need from you, as well as your approval of this intent, is permission to go and plant in some of the parks, as Carmen says, in conjunction with the city employees. Permission to go on city property, please. In the first instance, the lower quadrant of the northern quadrant of Vista Park, where I believe Mr. Gurney has confirmed that there is a possibility that there is water already there that was part of the Mule Mountain Desert Garden that was brought in, prepared in the 70s when Phelps Dodge gave it over. So we would like permission to have water there available for the first, to get these native plants going. And we would also like to tell you that ACE is working with us, and we will buy our plants, native plants, from them. Over to you.
I
Okay,
had a question.
thank you.
Can you clarify what you just said about the water in the Upper Vista, the lower portion of the Upper Vista?
Perhaps Mr. Gurney can answer that. There has been some conversation that there used to be a completely circular water system going around that quadrant of the park. Lord knows what's happened to it since, but it could be reactivated, I believe.
So there's water in the lower part, that's all. And they're asking to use that to get these plants going.
Water in the lower part of the
Lower.
Vista?
Lower upper part. So, right above the playground area, where the rocks are, and there's a memorial up there, there is some water in that area.
Really? I didn't know we had water. Did you know?
No.
He was on the council before me,
Yeah.
so no clue about that.
It would only be for 3 years or something, no.
Oh, I think
2 years.
way less than that.
For the water use.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for establishing, but, and after that, they're drought tolerant and they basically live on them. Yeah,
Correct.
hopefully.
That water turns on.
I'm sorry?
I was asking that, the reason I questioned this is because years ago in a kingdom far away, Phelps Dodge had water lines that ran all through there, but it was connected to the holding tank, which is now gone. And that's how they watered those parks, was via Phelps Dodge wastewater. And that's why I'm curious, is this an actual hookup or is it just piping you found?
I believe it is. Logan was the contact on this, so I heard, he told me about it. I don't know exactly everything about it.
That's what I was just curious.
Yeah.
I know.
What I see is you would definitely check all that out before any plants went in the ground.
We most certainly
Yeah.
do. And we have quite a stable of volunteers in, thanks to Evergreen here. We have a stable of volunteers in the park. They won't let these things die if the water doesn't. Oh, but thank you for the question.
So, Tuesday, last Tuesday, was it last Wednesday, we put the sign up at the high school. So it's now, the sign is there, and kids are maintaining the habitat, and it looks very lovely, and it's with native plants. Last week, or I should say Monday, I got my sign, so my yard is now certified. It takes nothing to do other than to check the boxes. It's what you have. I have a tortoise habitat in my yard, so that made it a little bit easier, but I have a lot of native plants that I don't mow. So, again, it's really not that hard, and it makes for a very beautiful environment. And I encourage anybody out there to do it, because it is quite simple,
I'll just send them a picture of mine.
Yeah, and it took me about 15 minutes to sign up, and I went all out and bought my sign. They'll give you a certificate that you can pay, and it's a good donation to a good cause. But I think it's a great idea.
Thank you, and I know, Mr. Soward, I spoke to you and your wife the
Yeah.
other day. Therein, I know Mr. Davis and Etta have their sign up, so it was so grateful to you all for doing it, but it really is a great project.
One more, go ahead.
Yes, Mama. Are you working with the senior center?
Excuse me?
Are you working with Bisbee Senior Center? Because they have been giving away native plants for all of last month.
They have. We
Let them
spoke,
know then.
we spoke to them the other day, and Carol Lloyd invited us to speak, and we put on a photograph show taken by Doug Danforth, who lives on West Boulevard, who's a published wildlife photographer, and we spoke to the senior citizens. I didn't know that they were selling.
No, not so.
Okay.
They're making them available, but you can check with Carol again.
I will do indeed. Carol has asked us to speak also to the Women's Club later this month. We're really glad for this opportunity.
One last question. You said that there would be no financial impact for the city. Will there be if we're turning the water on?
There will.
Yeah.
And also we will ask you at the end, when we have accomplished this goal, thanks to you and other people, we will ask you to buy signs for the parks to say that they are now certified.
Okay, next question?
Well, it's kind of a nice, kind of goes along with our no mow May.
Yeah. Any other questions, comments? I'll entertain a motion then.
I move to approve resolution R-22 17, authorizing the adoption of Project Wildlife Bisbee, certifying Bisbee as a community wildlife habitat by the National Wildlife Federation, and to allow Project Wildlife Bisbee to plant additional native plants in these parks.
We have a motion and a second to approve item 11, to approve resolution R-22-17. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. So moved. Thank you. And, thank you, buddy. And then we'll just, that's you, Matt. Come on up. Item number 12. Discussion and possible approval to award the bid for on-call engineering to Zacatecas Engineering, the WLB Group, EPS Group, and Kimberly Horn. Public Works Director.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So we went out to, request for qualification for proposal, and we got back, 7, engineering firms that had put in. Out of those 7, we have selected these 4. These 4, we have one that's local to Bisbee, which is Zacatecas Engineering, hence the name. And then the other 3 we have worked with in some way, shape, or form in the past. The WLB group is working with us on our bridge inspections and going out for grants for our bridges as well. The EPS group is home to Arizona, and they have done work, I believe, with the library and some other stuff around town. I can't remember exactly what it is. And Kimberly Horn has also done work with the city, and they do work with ADOT as well, a lot. So we're asking to award these on-call engineering for the contract for the next 5 years.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Just to clarify, we had a 5-year contract with, I believe, 3 engineering firms for the last 5 years.
Yes, sir.
Those have now expired, that's why we're going out for this.
We use them as needed and for what group would best satisfy whatever engineering.
Yeah.
Discipline.
Yeah. Discipline, there you go. Questions, comments?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
So basically, whenever you need one of the services, will they bid, or basically the hourly rate are flat and known before? So you decide based on what? Based on experience, based on the rate, when you call on them, or the
Yeah.
experience?
Usually, like for anything that needs what I'm looking for, like to the future stuff that's emergency that Zacatecas Engineering can take care of, because they're local, they can get to it quicker. We'll go with them.
Okay.
Some of the bigger stuff, we'll source out to WLB Group, the EPS Group, and the Kimberly Horn for those larger projects. So, we do a road, engineering a road, or drainage way, or anything, any major stuff like that. Or if we need structural engineering for our old historic buildings, we go to those as well. So they all have a put in their hourly rates,
Okay.
and those were on, I believe, the following pages.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
Okay, so basically then you focus on the specialty for that particular job, because you
Yes.
already know how much they're gonna cost you.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
They still go out for the number of hours that we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
So we have allocated an X amount of money for services. We projected for that, and then we call them if we need to use their services.
Correct.
Okay.
Whatever fits into our budget. Any other questions?
When a wall fails, you get the structural engineer, period.
Yeah, only certain ones have certain stamps.
So this kind of like bypassed how do we we have to vote on, finding an engineer, does that kind of what this does?
Yeah,
It's
except
kinda like on-call
for,
doctor, on-call.
when you get to the really big jobs, like City Hall, for instance.
Right,
okay,
yeah.
You go out and
Right, but I mean-
solicit.
In the past, it seems like, there was that drag out period because we have to.
But when a wall fails, we really need to be on the wall.
Right, so we'll have.
And this will,
But anything over 5,000 will still come to us to award.
Right, right.
Yes. Yeah, any other projects that mostly, that we have to have an engineer for, will be coming before you.
Anything else? Okay, seeing none. Since my voice is about ready to go, I'll entertain a motion from somebody else.
I move to approve the bid for on-call engineering to Zactes Engineering, the WLB Group, EPS Group, and Kimberly Owen.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve item 12 to award our engineering services. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none, determine the ayes have it. That's so moved, item 12.
Thank you.
And then item 13, I'm going. All right, last item on the agenda, working agenda, is item 13. This is discussion and possible approval of the attached letter to request donations for the 23rd Annual Festival of Lights to be held on Friday, February 25th, 2022, from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Pat.
So, we're asking for Public Works asking and our grant coordinator, Lorena, to request donations, for monetary and or gift, candies, decorations. This is the 32nd Annual Festival of Lights, and this is for prizes, for goodie bags for kids. We do have games at the Festival of Lights and to involve all the family and people and friends that are there.
What do you mean, excuse me?
Go ahead.
What do you mean, when you say you want our assistance in obtaining the donation?
Approval.
That's the assistance,
Yeah.
not walking the streets.
No, yeah, no, approval.
That takes on a whole new.
I mean,
I was just gonna say.
we do have volunteers.
Well, we appreciate it. I'm all for it.
Bring back the old days.
Oh, no.
So yeah, this just asks for permission to have
Solicit.
donations.
Solicit.
Yes.
Any,
I have questions.
okay,
Several.
go ahead.
One, do you think you still have time, starting so late? Do you think you have ample time to get all this put together?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And how are you gonna go about getting the donation? In what format? In what forms are you gonna go?
we're gonna start at the convention center.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you getting back at me? Is that what you're on?
If that's what you,
Nell's going on vacation.
No more windows.
well, we have better luck with his employees than we have.
Okay.
My admin assistant Lorena and they'll send out emails. They also call different companies they've talked with already. The pages. They're assisting in the event as well. So that's part of donation and assisting with that. And they've talked with ACE. They talk with ACE and Safeway and different companies to give donations. And like LLCs, they've had different families donate like up to $1,000 sometimes to this event.
Do you have a goal of how much you think you're gonna be raising, or do you have an idea? Or?
No.
Okay. So whatever we can get,
Yes,
that's what we're
whatever
gonna
we get.
spend.
Yes. And then we put in funds that we budget for from our part to it,
Yeah.
and then whatever, we use our donations first,
Okay.
and then goes from the budget.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Alrighty,
I just heard Joe offer me.
Oh, sweet.
Well, yeah,
That'll be good for a few years.
Anybody got a higher bid?
just a couple meetings.
I know he's got a big he's got a big generator so we can run a lot of lights.
No business.
All right.
I've just got.
Oh,
one
okay,
question.
sure.
So are we going to carry on the tradition of bringing Santa in on the fire truck?
Absolutely.
We've already got commitments from Mr. Santa.
Yes. And he'll
We
be
have a
coming
commitment
down.
from the fire department.
Yes, I've already talked to him.
I told Mom to do it.
And,
The most important thing is that we have a truck that actually
yeah,
works.
we have the,
Yes.
the
Go out
19th,
and
So is Jim gonna send
All right.
I have a question.
Okay.
You talk about, in this, it says, participate, children receive candy stockings, the opportunity to participate in games for prizes. Are the prizes gonna be reasonable, other than the unrealistic, things from the past, the $10 games, the huge give outs? Because when this originally started, all there was we had the entertainment, and then we had the stocking with Santa. And then it just kinda got blown out of proportion, and that seems to be where the major cost is.
We will
Maybe
not
I'm a
be-
bah humbug, but I just
No.
think,
We're not getting nice.
Joni, we agree with you, and we're gonna keep it reasonable.
I hope so, because that was, excuse the expression, a little mesmerizing to get, but that's just my personal opinion.
Okay. Are we
No iPads for you.
done with the last agenda? All right, let's,
I move to approve the attached letter to request donations for this 32nd annual Festival of Lights to be held, excuse me, on Friday, November 25th, 2022, from 8, is that AM?
Yeah.
8 AM to 10 PM.
I second.
all right, we have a motion and a second to approve the request for donations for the 32nd Annual Festival of Lights. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Hearing none.
thank you. I hope to see you guys all out there.
Yeah. The last item will be the city manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just one item, just an update on the City Hall project. The contractor met with the architect and city staff earlier this week. No, they didn't. This still is early.
Still.
My apologies, on Monday. And we anticipate that work will start the week after next. So, obviously, this is really a simple part of the project. They'll be going in, they'll be doing the balance of the demo that we left in place to make sure that the front of the building stayed stable. And we'll be removing some of the flooring and bringing in dirt that the city already owns from two locations, one at the garage and the other one out near the Warren sewer ponds. And once that dirt has been hauled in, then the compaction will begin, and it will be compacted to whatever the acceptable level is for a slab on. So hopefully it will start the week after next, and they're hoping that since the material is already available, that we should be able to get in and out of there in between 2 to 3 weeks. So there'll be a little activity down on Arizona Street, but I think all of my friends in Warren agree with me that it's gonna be good activity. And that's all I have.
Would you like to make any comments on the $4.5 million award that we made up for today? Or not? I could have done that in my announcements, I thought maybe you might.
I have no report on that at the moment.
Okay, we'll do that maybe later.
Now, let's wait to announce awards until we get them.
Okay. All right.
But I can tell you that I do have a meeting tomorrow morning with the principal.
Okay. Although, let's see,
I make a motion to adjourn.
there's my man.
Second.
Have a motion, a second to adjourn, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay, we are adjourned.